Okay, so I think we're live now, even though I still can't see it here. Okay, nice. So yeah, this is the school website. I'm just going to delete a couple of. Okay, so we're going to do background images that I wanted to do last week. Okay, I think it's better I use VS, what's it called? Let me use VS Code because it's easier to. Easier to understand. So the basic idea about, before my VS Code comes up, so this place here, you know how we said that we use div to divide them into section. This upper part is the navigation bar section. All right, this is another section, this is another div, but if you notice, only the upper div, this side, only this div is going to have the background color and the background image. This div here is not going to have any background image, it's just going to have these things. But you might not be able to do it exactly like this because this is more like JavaScript and we're not doing JavaScript here. Okay, but we can find a way to do this anyway. I'll try to figure it out. Then this we can do. All right. So we'll go after them one by one, God's willing. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to open a folder and show you how background images work. So should I ask you to, okay, because you're struggling with, let me close folder. So I'll open another folder, then I'll do it. Oh god, I feel something climb my hand. Okay. VS Code. Okay. I don't even know what's going on. Why did you close? Did you give any warning before you close? I wasn't even looking at the screen.
So I just need no one
You just closed, Avi. Because
else.
if I say I should do it from this online browser here, it's going to be hard for you to understand it. Because you know that this is an online browser, so they probably have saved pictures somewhere. Unlike you have to save it on your laptop first and all of that and all of that. So you might not understand it. So you might not, if I you won't this is what will confuse you. So let's just go and do it on VS Code. I think VS Code has opened again. So hold on. Okay, so let's just start with this since that's what they're starting with. I'll go through it one by one. So I'm trying to close this folder. Setup as detected. Setup is complete score of. I don't even know what this means, but please close this file. I do not know why the forces are working against us today, but we shall prevail. Close. Okay, so this should work. Okay, since you have refused to close, no problem. Oh, it has closed finally. Oh, there are two running. Okay. 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 Okay, let me open this one. So I think that first day I opened the folder for you. I even forgot I opened the folder. What is going on? What are you discarding? This is serious. I don't want to use. Anyway, why that is happening, let me first download the picture I want to use. So trying to download this picture the normal way, I taught you how to download picture from a website. If you want to, you just right click and then say you want to download the image. Sometimes you will see save as, sometimes you will see, okay, it's actually here, save as, but I don't want this one. Let another picture come. I don't want this picture. Okay, that one has opened finally. So I don't want this picture. How do I get another picture to show? Okay, I don't want this either. I don't want this. Yeah, this is the one I prefer actually. So let me see if I do save as, see if I can get it. For some reason, okay, save as. Ah, no, that's not what I want. Okay. All my apps are just not, I've just decided to not work today. Okay, so I don't know how it's saving us, but let me check. Let me see if I was able to save it. Oh yes, hey, I've gone to cause another problem by saving picture. I can't figure out why this thing is hanging like this. I've tried. Okay, save. See, it's not even saving. Oh, let me see. So also have to search for CSS navigation bar. Nav bar W page score. So let me see if I was able to save that picture. Is this still saving? See, it didn't even save as a picture. I don't know what it's saving as, but it did not save. So I think the reason why it's not saving is because of the way. I don't even know the reason why it's not saving. So, but I'll figure out another way to save the picture that you need. And if you cannot save it, you just have to look for any other picture of your choice. But basically, I'm just going to click on this. I mean, yeah, right click. I'm going to do inspect. So I'm waiting. Oh, it didn't work. Let me try again. So yeah, when you click on inspect, it's going to bring this out. Can you see it?
Yes, I
Hello?
can.
So I'm going to go
Yes, I
to
can see
source.
it.
Okay, so I'm going to go to sources and I've even seen it safe, so I'm just going to download this picture. Is it possible to download this picture? Save image. All right, so let's go and check. Something else is downloading here. I don't understand. Ha, please stop downloading. Thank you. So if I check here, let me see download. Okay, so now it's here. Let me make it bigger. So now it's here. All right. I don't know if you can see it. I'm trying to load it, but it's acting up.
I
So I'm
can
just
see
going
it.
to. Okay, fine. So I'm going first thing I'm going to do. I'm going to transfer it to that Osaze. Is it what you want to use to open it? I'm going to transfer it to that Osaze folder. It's here. So because there are so many images on that page, I'm going to open a different folder and call it images. So you already have one page. Oh, there's even one for pictures here, I find. So I have one for picture. So I'm going to move this here. Is this even displaying as a picture? Because the one I can't get it to open like this. I'm going to cut it and then I'm going to paste it here inside the picture folder. I'm trying to post it. So it's moving it from that place to here because the file is open. All right. I don't know why it's opening here for us. I really do not. So that picture is not in PN. It's not in PNG. It's not in JPEG. So I don't know what. Let me see. That's the reason why it's opening with micro world. I mean, let me check the properties. We can't check the properties again. Okay, is a JPEG okay? Opens with. Why is it opening with that? Okay, so let me try again. It's okay. Oh, thank you. Mm, okay, I've heard. Sazi, are you there? Because I heard you leave. Oh.
I'm there.
Okay, because I had you leave. So let me try to copy it again,
Okay.
or cut it rather, and put it in that. Okay, so I'm going to put it in pictures, and then I'm going to paste it here. All right, so now it's there. Okay, so let's go back to. So your current, this is your. Let me delete all this. We don't need this. Yeah. So I'm going to delete it. So because I don't want to start, I don't want to have to open what's it called? A file for the style for the styling. I'm going to use internal CSS here. Do you understand? So the CSS is going to be in the same place here. But your own, you should use your external CSS. You already know that. Yeah. So the first thing I want to replicate the navigation bar that we already have there. So let me first replicate that. Sorry. Okay. Or do you think you can copy? No, I don't want us to go there. Let me try here. So yours is floated to the left, right? So let me see, float right. So float right. All right. So I don't have time to start correcting that one. I'm just going to leave it like that. I hope you are following. You're not watching video because I can literally hear you watching video.
I'm not watching video. I'm trying to something on my phone.
I can hear.
Okay.
So that you would see, you won't be confused when you're doing yours. Okay. So this is going to be here. Oh wow. I just made a mistake. Okay. Okay. That's more like it. So that's the styling. And now let's put the okay. Didn't know now run again. Wow. Oh, okay. That's not going to work. Oh. Okay. So let's see how it looks like on the browser. Browser is loading. Did I save this? Okay, I saved it. The browser is still loading. But this right here is not showing. Okay, it should show now. All right, showing now. You see that? You see what I was saying last week that there's no reason why this should be black. Now, if you look at it here using VS Code, they are all blue because they are all linked. So let me just change it to black.
Okay.
So that's the thing when you're using an online an online editor like that,
Mm.
those are challenges that you face. So okay, now it's black. Right, cool. So this is exactly what you have on your page for now. Let me remove that hovering thing. This is what you have on your page now. But if I go to okay, you know what, you can leave it when we're doing because I want to say that you can see it is a little bit, you can see where it's starting from. There's a margin here, but we can do all those finishing touches later. Because after we built the whole page, we'll now do finishing touches and we'll build this one maybe tomorrow. So but let me show you how to do the back, or maybe today rather. Let me show you how to build this background image. So the first thing you want to do, is that you want to select, we're going to put it in a div like I said last week. So now this is your code. So the first thing, this is already in a div on its own. So right here is a div. Okay. So we're going to put this navigation in a div like that. So now the navigation is in a div. All right. Opening div, closing div. Right. So now we're going to open another div. I'm going to give it a class of let's call it background image, or let's call it first div. Let me do it that way. This is the first div, and then I close it. Where's the closing? Oh, sorry. Then I close the div, right? So the first thing I want to do is that if I look here, if I look at the page, I can see that there is a H1. I can see the paragraph, and I can see this. This is kind of like a button that they use JavaScript to make beautiful like this. But yeah, there's H1, there's H2, and the rest. So welcome to our school, a serene environment paragraph. So let's do that. So the H1. So remember, like I said, you can only have one H1 in one page. All right. You can only have one H1 on one page. So this is your first H1. You are not going to use another one again on this page. So welcome to our school. Then sorry. Then there is a mistake. Osaze, are you following?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So we're going to have a paragraph. Paragraph that says a serene environment environment. I hope I got that spelling right. And then we're going to have a button that says check results. Check results. All right. So now if I save this and I come here, all right. So let's see. Why is it not? All right. So now you can see it here, right? Fine. So to put this background image, this is the background image that we saved already. So to put that background image, you go to your CSS file, and then you select what was the div, the class that we used, first div, right? So I'm going to
Yes.
select that. Yeah, I'm going to select that first div. Oh, sorry, full stop, first div. Then of course you open your bracket. So just so that I'm sure of what I'm doing, let me check. Okay, yeah, background image. Why am I hearing myself? Are you using two devices? You're going to have to mute one. You're going
I've
to have
muted
to
one.
mute one. Okay. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? All right. So the first thing you're going to do, you see the way they selected it here, background image, right? That is the property that you want to do. Background image. Okay. And am I getting this right?
And
Yeah.
the name of your class is first div.
What did you say?
The name of your class is first div.
Yes, first div. That's what I put now.
Okay.
First div, right? Let me see. Yes, now. So the background image, after you've selected background image like this, you are to um let me just copy it. Sorry, let me copy. So when you open background image like that, the first thing you want to do is to put the URL. Remember that when it comes to pictures, and videos, the browser needs to know where it is. Do you understand? If you're taking a picture from a website, it will ask you for that image source or image URL, right? Or yeah, image source, image address, image URL, they are all the same. It will ask you so that the browser will know where is this image coming from, so I can pull it from there and make it appear. The same way, if you are uploading from your system and then you have to use the SRC, the source, you have to put exactly, you have to follow some. I think you do the copy path. That's what you do. But me, I'm just going to put the address directly. So this URL just lets the browser know that this is the picture I want to use. So what is going to be in the middle will be this BG, this one exactly. No, it's going to be now because it's inside a folder called pictures. All right. So because it's in a folder called pictures here, if I check it here, you can see it's in a folder on its own. It's inside a folder called pictures. Okay. Somebody's trying to hack into my Facebook. So because it is in a folder called pictures here, so the first thing I want to do, I want to let the browser know that, oh, you have to check it inside a folder that is called pictures, right? So because picture here is capital letter P, to be sure that I know what I'm doing, pictures, sorry, slash. So this is the picture I want to use. This is a picture of me. This is the picture I want to use. And I'm going to save it. You can do copy path as well if you want to, but I don't really use that. I don't even know how to use it. It was your cousins that used it. So you see how it is displaying, right? Oh my god.
Yes, I can tell it's displaying.
Okay, hold on. Please hold on, let me fix my glasses. Um, Sorry, hold on. Okay. So yep. So let's try
Ma,
to fix it now. Yeah?
so for my homework, this one now I'm putting the background image as my school, but I'm not doing my school website. I'm doing like that research website. So should I put the research picture
What
in
did you
case I'm
say?
like doing it?
I don't understand.
So like this one now, you're putting the background image of like my school picture,
Yeah.
and like you're replicating what my school did, but for like the one that we've been doing since is like a wrestler's page. So should I actually use my school background, or I should use the guy's picture as background
No, well,
image?
I'm the one that is confused at this point though. Because we are trying to replicate your school picture. That's what we're trying to do.
Mm, okay.
Yeah, that's what we're trying to do. So hold on. So hold on. I'm coming. Because sometimes I forget to. So I'm going to have to hold on. So I'm trying to get ChatGTP to help me remember how to make it bigger. Because now it's not displaying bigger. Can you see my screen?
No, that's
Yeah, it has gone
yes, I
blank.
am.
You can see it
I
now,
am.
right?
I am. I am.
Yeah, please give me a
Yes.
moment. Sorry, hold on. I was talking and I didn't even know I was mute and I was talking. So I was saying that to not make
So
the background, yeah, I was talking. It was when I asked you a question and I realized that you are not even, I was not even, I was on mute. So the next thing that you want to do, let me first make it background cover. Because the only reason why it is not, is it background size rather? You want to cover everything. Okay, so hold on. So let me add a width to it, a height to it rather. So let me give it a height of 500 px first. Height 700 px first. Sorry. Okay. Okay. So now that we've added the height to it, you see that it's bigger, right? Osaze?
Yes. Sorry, sorry. Yes.
Okay. You see that it is bigger. I wasn't sure that it was the height or I want to see what changed if it was the height or the cover. Okay, it was the height actually. So the thing is that I don't know, it's hard for you to, okay, let me make it 900 px so that you will see something. Okay, so now it's 900 px. So let's try to. All right. So notice one thing. This is the first image, right? Now this is 900 px. If we're doing it for the, if you scroll down, you see this is where the picture stops and then it's starting again. Do you understand? So most times, because we are
Yes.
only making it, yeah, because we are only um making the background image the div. That is why you're not seeing the full extent of the entire. Let's assume I make it the body. Let's assume I made the entire picture the background image for the body. Let me show you what it will look like. So if I say body, because the picture it tends to repeat itself. Background images always repeat themselves. So now I've changed it to the body. So now it's covering everything. Oh, it didn't repeat itself. All right, let's go to the online browser. At least you understand how I put pictures now. Because most times it's because that picture is a very large picture anyway. This is how it will look like. This is a single picture. Do you understand?
Yes.
Hold on. Yeah, this is a single picture. This tree is a single picture. But most times when you're using small pictures like this, be ready to know that it will be repeating itself. It's pretty much the same method. This is a background. So there are two background pictures here. So you know that you can use two background pictures. This paper, let me delete it so that you see that it's a background picture as well. If I delete this, cut. All right. So you can use two. You see that paper is no longer there. You are left with this one,
Yes.
right? So let me put it back. So right now, this image is repeating itself, but you cannot tell it's repeating itself until I remove it for you, then you see it. So hold on. So that's the basic way of putting a background picture. That's what you should know first. We'll come back to the plenty types of styling. Oh my God. Okay. Okay. So the unit is background origin anyway. Let me see. Oh, this is the wrong one. I'm sorry, this is the wrong one. Or is it? Sorry. Let me not use my fingers again. They didn't even specify. Okay, so this is it here. Because I wanted to say they didn't specify it. So the easiest way to actually not make the picture repeat itself is to say background repeats. No, let's see what this one is saying. Hmm. Oh, this is going to be. Let me just use it here. Background repeats. Am I getting it right? Yeah. try to copy it. I don't want to. Oh, it's not copying. Background repeat. Just so that I'm sure there is something for the background repeat. Hold on. No repeat. It's not no. No repeats. That's the word. So background. Sorry. Background repeat. So we're going to say, what was the word again? No repeats, right? If I copy it and I place it here. So do you see it now?
Yes.
So it's actually a single picture, but background pictures tend to repeat themselves. So you have to tell the browser not to repeat it, otherwise it will keep repeating till it fills the entire section. The reason why we didn't have that problem here is because this picture by itself is a large picture. I even had to increase the height to get here. That's why everything was not showing. This is a very large picture, so it can cover everywhere. That is why we didn't have that problem. But for the most part, if you're using, oh my god, if you're using like a small picture, right, you know that you have to use background repeat, otherwise it will just be repeating itself. So now let me remove this, okay, and see it's repeating. So there are different variations of repeating. That's what you're seeing here. So let's just go through this demo one by one. So you have background position. Okay, we'll come to that. So if we check, it's loading. So now this is one that shows that the background is repeating. If you tell it to repeat on the x-axis, it's only going to repeat here. It's only going to it's this, you know how we're talking about it when we're doing the scrollers, where I said the x-axis is like this, is like horizontal, and the y-axis is vertical. If you say repeat y, it's only going to do on this side, on one side. All right. If you say no repeat, it's just going to be there for once. If you give it a space, it means that you're telling the background, okay, let there be a space. Look at it normal where there's no space in between. You see, it's up to like 4. But if you want it to repeat and you want space in between, it's like this. I've never used round before. Okay, so I don't see the difference between this. Do you see the difference between this round and this repeat?
Yes.
What's the difference? Because me, I don't see it though. Hmm. This is round. This is repeat.
Round the bottom is wider, I think. I can see the
Oh,
bottom
okay.
like change.
Oh, okay. No, I think the rounder is just bigger, because if I do only repeats, I can see the second, the third line starting. But because this is the screen space is limited, it's not showing. But if I do rounder, you see that it's not even starting at all. So maybe rounder is bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah, but these are the various um variation of using a repeat. So there's also something called background size, right? Finally, they brought our lights. So there's something called background size. The background size property specifies the size of the background image. There are different syntaxes that you can use. You can use auto, cover up, and contain. Okay. The one value what sets the width. Okay, height. The two value. Okay, hopefully they will explain that because I don't understand it. Okay, so let's try it here. Let's look at background sizes. Okay, I've seen what they were trying to explain. So now this is an image. There's a background image here. So in example one, you can see a border here. There is a border around it. Of course, it has padding. So this is the background image. Is that no repeats? And then they put, okay, there are two background pictures there. Or is it two? Or just one? Just one. One value center sets the width of the image. Height becomes auto. Okay. First is the width. Okay, now I understand. Okay, now I understand. So this is the first. This is the. Can you hear me, Osage? I mean,
Yeah,
Osaze.
yes.
So there is one picture here. So this has a picture of no. This has a repeat property of no repeat, and now there's a background size. So this 100 px, right? The first one represents the width of, how long you want it to be, while the second one represents the height, right? So if you notice that in the second example, they gave the width 75%. Let's assume I want to make it 85. Let's assume I make it 85. You will notice that it will be longer. This will go longer, right? You see, it's longer. Let's assume I make this one 70. All right. You see, and this is because the image itself is not that big. For this one that we use in your school, this one is big enough. It's very big. I don't even understand it. Sorry, but it is very big. So, but in case you are using a smaller image, right? I mean, if they didn't, if let's assume they repeated this one. So if you don't put any repeat property there, it will just automatically repeat. So if I run this, it's even covered 100%, so it won't repeat because you've told it to cover. All right. So you can set the background sizes as you want. Sometimes you can just set it to cover or auto. I think they were saying it here. Let me read it. So there are four syntaxes you can use. You can use auto. If you say background, let me try to use auto here. If you say background whatever here, if you use auto here, okay, the browser is just automatically going to take whatever it wants to take. It will just use whatever. I don't know how to explain to you, but you can see the way it's displaying. It's displaying it in this is the original picture. You can see it, right? So what the browser has done, because you said it, you want the background size to be auto, that means you have told the browser to cover everywhere. Do you understand? So that's why it's like this. It's covering everywhere. If you see, it's the same picture. It's just that this one is more at this side. Basically, if you use auto, you are covering everywhere. If you use cover, I think auto and cover are the same. Let me see. So depending on how you want, okay. Okay, cover is when you are using the entire picture. Okay, sorry, I was making a mistake. So if you use cover, this is the entire picture. The browser automatically uses the entire picture to cover whatever background. If it's the body of the background or the body of a div, the browser will use that one picture to cover everywhere. But if you use auto, the browser will just select portions of the picture that it wants to use. It's just like the browser will just be like, okay, oh, anyhow you fit, you just fit inside there. So if I run this, it just fits. You can see that you're not seeing all this blue, these darker colors, because um the browser will just automatically use this. This is a very big image, I'm guessing. This one is a big image. So the browser just cover what it wants and cuts the remaining. Is that making sense to you? Hello?
I said yes. I thought I was on mute.
Okay. Is that making sense to you at all?
Yes, it got to me. Yes.
Yeah, it cuts from me. So if you use auto, it will just put whatever it is, yeah, whatever it needs to cover that place and cuts it. But if you use cover, it will use the entire picture to cover the entire div or the entire body, you would see the entire picture in cover. But if you use auto, you might not see the entire picture. Do you understand? You can now also set it to whatever, to the different widths that you want for it. Maybe you want 75. Let's go back to 75 here. You want 75 on the horizontal, and then you want 50 on the height, right? It will give you whatever you want. So that's the thing about background picture. In this side, in this one here, I'm going to have to use background image cover here because I also want it to cover. So I'm going to say background image. Oh, it's still in the body. So I'm going to change it to the div because I want it to be in the div. First div. All right. So if I save this, let me see how it looks like in the browser. Yeah, it's very small. I don't want it to be small. I'm going to give it a height of 700 because it's too small now. Height of 700. So notice that it is the div that I am increasing, not the picture. All right, not the size of the picture. If I wanted to increase the size of the picture, I would say, you can see the difference. I would say background size, right? So the reason why is the height that we are giving, is the div itself that we are giving a height, is because the picture is bigger than the div. You can see it here. The picture is bigger than the div. So you have to increase the size of the div to contain the picture. Do you understand?
Yes.
You understand, right? So, but in a case
Yes.
where the picture is, let me just see, it's even repeating. So I'm just going to do repeat no. If I do repeat no, what happens? Background repeat. If it appears the way I want it to appear, I might not need to use background cover. If it appears the way I want it to appear, let me see. So okay, there's no repeat, but you can see there's a space under this. Let me tell you how I know that that space is still going to, if I open another div, right? Let's assume, so that you see that space there. It might not be obvious now, but wait, because of course you're still going to add more divs for the other pictures and content size there. But let's assume I open another div like that, and I call this place second div, right? Second div. Because if I put first div, it's just going to look exactly like the first one. So if I scroll down, you can see this is the second div. You can see this space here. Well, it doesn't really matter. Nobody will know that they are not together, but there is a space here that if I let me let it repeat itself again so you see what I'm talking. So if I cut this, you see there's a space here. You see this place where it was about to start the picture all over again, because you can see it was about to start the picture again. If I remove the repeat option, you won't see that part again. You see that part is gone. Do you see what I'm saying? Osaze?
Yes. Yes.
So in this case, if you like the way it is displaying, you might decide to leave it like that. Okay, the white space is not disturbing me. But
Yes.
in cases where maybe the reason why the white is not disturbing is because this place is white. Let's assume you want to give the second div a different background color. Let's assume I want to give the second div a background color of gray. You would see that that's where the problem will start. Let's assume I want to give second div.
Okay.
You have to mute one. Second div, right? And I'm going to second div background color. I'm sure we've done background color after we've done background color before, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So let's assume I'm giving the second div a background color of gray. That's where this white might become kind of like a small problem. But it actually depends on what you want. It actually depends on what you want. So now if I now come here and I say background size, I'm going to make it cover. Background size cover. Okay. So now it has covered everything. You can see the spaces. So depending on what you want, some people want that plenty white space. Some people don't want it. So depending on what you want at the end of the day, I'm just going to leave it at cover. All right. I'm just going to leave it at cover. So
Okay.
yeah. So now we have sorry, back to your school, whatever. So if I go back to your school website, right? No, this is not it. Sorry, this is it. So if I go and I check that, you can see that the H1, the H1, the paragraph, and they are all inside. They are all in the middle, right? They are in the middle. So what are we going to do? We have to push this right up to the middle. We can do that. And how do you do that? Inside the div. Remember, everything you are styling is inside the div. You are styling the background image inside the div. So it is still also going to be there. You are going to say text align center. You don't need to, it's because it's still the div that you are doing. All right, text align centered. So if I do like that and I go and check it, you see that everything has moved to the middle, right?
Yes.
Are you there?
Yes, I'm there.
All right. So text, but now there is now one small problem. You see where it is. We can't even see what's the color of it on your website. The write up is black and it's up. But if I come to your own, it's actually, is it blue they use? Okay, they
It's
use
blue.
blue everywhere and it's also in the middle. So what you want to do is this.
And John is bigger.
Yeah, that one is bigger. Yeah, we'll do that. There are two ways we can deal with this. So let's forget about the second deal. We'll do that one way later. There are two ways that you can deal with this, right? Hmm. Okay, we've moved everything to the middle. So we can give it a padding first. No, this will be a margin. A margin is the one that is inside it. So like I said, margin is the space around whatever element. It can be the button, um it can be a button, it can be an element. So we have to add a margin that will shift this thing to the middle here. You this entire we have to add a margin that will shift it here. Okay. Hmm. So let me see if I do it directly. Wow, I'm struggling. Let me see if I do it directly. Margin. So if I give it a margin of 200 pixels on all sides. So if I say 200 pixels, it means that every side is taking 200 px, right? Let me see. Sorry. Oh, okay, let me see. All right. So what the browser now did was that it gave the entire div a margin. All right, so that will not work. We don't want the entire div to have a margin. We just want the right up inside to have a margin. All right, so what do we do? Where is it? All right, it's back to normal. So what do we do? That's you can either individually, like you select your H1 and be like, okay, H1 move here, H2. Let me show you. I can decide to like this. I can say, okay, let me select the H1. Now you know that you are using one style sheet for 2 pages, and in that your style sheet you already have a H1, right? Right, Osaze?
Right.
If you select another H1 like this, it's going to cause problem because the browser is going to be touching that your first H1. So what you want to do to let the browser know that I am only talking to the H1 that is inside first div. You are going to put first div here in front of H1. So now the browser understands that, okay, He's only talking about the H1 that is inside. You're going, please mute one, because I can hear myself. So we are only going to touch the browser. What did I do? Control Z. So we're only going to touch the browser that is inside the first div. So I can decide to do like this and say, okay, margin. Let me give it a margin of like 200 px. So when it comes to coding like this, sometimes you want to achieve a result. Like now, we want to make all those write up to be in the middle. So sometimes you want to achieve a result, you'll be confused. But this is how you do it. You have to be trying. You try this one. If it doesn't work, you try another one. Don't expect that you will get it at the first try. You try. So now we have tried that one. It did not work. So now let me go and check this one now. So if I do the margin, have I saved that? If I do the margin of H1 to be 200 pixels, right? Oh, padding is the word I should be doing, not margin. Jesus. Padding. Margin is the space outside it. Padding is the space around it. See, even you yourself, you could not remember to correct me. See, now it has moved here. Let me see. Oh, okay. Wait, let me first make the entire write-up white so that we
Just to
can
be
see it
working.
clear. Huh?
Or that you do it.
Let me see white so that we can see what we are doing. Okay, so now the problem with making H1 now, giving H1 a padding like that is that you see, of course, it came down a little. I mean, if you add more padding, right? If you add more padding, maybe you make it 300, this one will come, but it will also give it a padding under. You cannot decide to remove the padding that is under, no problem about that. Do you understand? You cannot say, okay, let it be. Like I said, when you see padding written like this, yeah, when you see it with two options, this first one is going to take the top and this is top and the bottom. Yeah, this is going to take the top and the bottom, and this is going to take the sides. So in this case, and what I'm looking for is the bottom. So in this case, I'm going to have to write the long one and say, okay, make the up 300 px, which is a lot of problems. Make the top 300 px, make the right side 300, leave it at 200 px, make the bottom 0, and make the left side 200 px. So it's like clockwise, top, right, bottom, left, 200 px. So if I save it, this is my work. Where is it? I've not saved it. Okay, why is it taking time to save? So why this might work? Why this might work, right? But that means you have to be doing, okay, it's actually in the middle. All right, I get that. You can decide to leave it like this. That's up to you. Do you get? Osaze, are you there?
Yes, ma. Yes, ma.
Yeah, so you can decide to leave it like this if you want to. I think your school, they made it blue. No wonder they made it blue, because white was not working through. That's why they left it at blue. Okay. So welcome to our school, welcome to our school. Right? So the problem with signing it like this is that, like you said, the font size is also bigger. The font size is also bigger. Right? So we have to, sorry, that's my glasses that just fell down. Hopefully it did not break. Okay, we can still manage it. Okay, we're good to go. So this, I think this 300 is too much. So let me leave it at 200 here. Do you understand how we got here? Eh,
Yes.
Osaze, I want to
Yeah,
give
so
that
the laptop
first.
I think is freezing.
What do you say?
I said yes, sorry, laptop is freezing.
Oh, okay. Let me say
Yes.
5px. So I want to, sorry. You can see if I come here, you see the space between this navigation bar and this picture. If I go to your school's own, it's not that much. Oh, it's actually much. Okay, so maybe we can leave it like that. The only difference is that this one moved to the right a little. So, like I said, when we're doing finishing touches, we'll do all those ones. So we can see we're almost there, but we have to increase the font size. So let's increase the font of your H1. So font size. Hold on, let me try something. Eh? Just hold on, let me try something. Let's assume, okay, so let me leave that. Let's assume I gave this one here a padding. Because that time I did margin, it was supposed to be padding. So let's assume I give it a padding of 200px instead of doing the H1. What will happen? So like I said, in coding, you are going to be trying a lot of things. Save now. Okay. What am I going to do? Okay, hold on. So let's assume. I don't know why it's not saving. Okay, I think that's saved. So let's assume I give it a padding of 200px. It's still the same. Do you see the difference? Now the picture is looking blurry.
I said it's bigger. I think this is different.
No, there's a difference. Look at it now. The picture looks weird when I did it like that. Let me go back to how I did it before. Because now the picture is looking
Okay.
weird. Let me leave that matching first. There's a mistake somewhere. Where's the mistake? Okay. There's still more mistake. Where's the mistake coming from? So every time you see all this red thing, or you see it writing like this, or you see something like this, it means that there is a mistake somewhere that I am trying to figure out. Okay, so I think we're fine. Let's say if I do it like this. So the picture is no longer weird. So I think it's better we do it like that. All right.
Okay, yes, I can see the difference.
Yeah. So figured out that the best way to do it is to design your H1. All right.
Yeah.
Cool. So now we have to change the font size. Let's say font size. Let's give it a font size of 500px first. Let's see how that looks like. Don't hang. Don't hang. I don't know why it's not saving. So it's loading. It's loading. Why are you? Let me check my network. It's loading. Did I do something wrong? That is too big, obviously. All right, I'm sorry. Uh-uh. Let's make it. Let me make it. Let me go small and say 80px. Okay. So if you are confused about the size you want to use, sometimes just go big. When you see it's too big, then you will know, okay, I should go small. So now we can see this, right? Let me see. Let me see something. Sorry. Hold on. Okay, so if I go to your school website and I see it and I want to check it. Welcome to our school. So know that it cannot be exactly like your school website because your school website has Java and JavaScript inside it. Do you get? That's helping it. All
Yes.
right. Don't expect it to be exactly, but at least it should look like it. Let me give this a bit of. Let me give this div a width. Let me say 100%. I want it to fill up everywhere from the right to the left. So when you see a property and you see that it is giving 100%, for instance, let's assume I give a width 100%. What that simply means to the browser is that take up all the available space. That's what I'm telling the browser. Make it as
Okay.
wide as possible. That's what I'm telling the browser. Make it as wide as possible. All right. Yeah, which is what I'm telling the browser. So welcome to our school. What else again am I looking for? So if I'm looking at the welcome from our school like this, okay. Even this picture, the picture is still bigger than that though. Wait, let me see. What did I give it height of? Let me give it height of 900 because I can still see some part of the pictures I did not see. Now I'm seeing the bottom grass I wasn't seeing before. Hmm. So I've used cover before. Now let me try auto if it will look better. So this is me just using different styles to see what might work for me. Nothing serious. Okay, so I think now it looks more like the one on your, because I noticed that when I was checking your screws, it was a bit slanted. This is what I was looking for. The picture was a bit slanted. So obviously, let me go back there. So when I say it was a bit slanted, if you see the background, it looks like the picture is a bit slanted, right?
Yes.
Yeah, if I do it here now, you can see that effect. Before, when I was using cover, it wasn't like that. When I used cover, it was just straight cover. Save. Oh, I don't know why you're not saving. So when I used cover, it wasn't giving me what I wanted. So the best thing to use is auto. Right, so I'm just going to use auto. Cover is not giving me what I want. So you also have to be checking what is going to work, because sometimes you might not know what will work. So it's kind of like, you're going on a journey to see what exactly is going to work. So what I did to achieve that thing, I increased the height. I gave it a background of no repeats. I gave it a background size of auto. I gave it text align center. There is a margin. So this margin, let me first remove the margin first. There. And I also gave it a width of 100%. All right. So this save is not saving. All right, now it's saving. Okay. All right, so that's more like it. So the slanty thing I wanted to say, I can see it now. So if I look at where this W is starting from. So you don't have to be, W is actually starting here in the middle. So like I said, it can never be exactly like your own. Abi, where is it starting? Like your school. It can never be exactly like your school, but at least it can look like it. Do you understand?
Yes.
Yeah. It's still not even like itself. because let me see. We don't have time to be doing all this one. I'm just going to leave it because I want to try to make it like exactly like your school, but that's going to take time because now I'm seeing what they did here. All right, but we don't have that time. You have to start editing the picture. You can see where these two flags are. So you have to start editing pictures, moving. That's going to take a lot of time. And you're a learner. These two flags. So you have to do something. So let's not even go through that stress. Just let it look like this. Welcome to our school. You also want to increase the font size of the paragraph. So So you're going to say first div paragraph because you have other paragraphs that you're still going to put or that are already in your style. So you can't be confusing the browser. So first, do you understand why I'm putting the first div paragraph and the first div H1 together? Do you understand why I'm putting it?
Try to confuse the browser.
What did you say?
Try to confuse the browser.
So in what way will you not confuse the browser? I want to be sure you understand.
Huh?
In what way are we not trying to confuse the browser?
In this thing, the padding.
It's not the padding. You see, that's what I'm saying. I said that in your style sheet, right?
Mm.
In your style sheet, you already have. If you check your style sheet right now, I'm sure there's a H1 there. There's a styling for H1. There's a styling for paragraph, right?
I think so. Let me check.
Yeah. If you check, you should see something for paragraph. You see something for.
In the styling, no.
There's a styling right here. So now, if you come back and you now put another styling and you say H1, that means you're having two H1. You understand? The
Yes.
browser doesn't. The browser because you are using. If it would have been a different case if you had opened another style sheet for this page, right? You know that we only opened one style sheet file, right? We only opened one file and then we linked it to both pages, right? Osaze, I need to know you're listening to me. Oh.
Sorry, I said yes. I think yes, yes.
Okay. So we linked it. So
We only have
because we linked
styling for each one. We don't have for paragraph.
we don't have for paragraph. Yes, I know, but now that we're not, it was okay to do it like that when it was just one page, but now that we are now having two pages and we're using the same style sheet, you have to be specific. Otherwise you will just see that the browser will just change all the OH1 to a font size of 80. That's what will happen. It will just change it to a
Okay.
font size of 80 because it has to follow one. Is either it follows this one or you can't have H1. The browser will be confused because
Yeah,
the
so
browser
that's
does
why you
not understand that we're in two
that
different pages.
H1 into a class.
What did you say?
That's why you made that H1 into a class.
Yeah, so that the browser will now understand that okay, it is only the H1 that is inside this div that we're talking about. Do you understand now?
Yes, I understand.
So now the browser understands that it is only the H1 inside this div that we're talking about. So I also changed the font size for the paragraph, which is this. But there is a space here that I do not understand, and I'm trying to remove the space. I've already removed the space from the bottom. I don't know. There's still a space there I cannot remove. There is space there I cannot remove. All right. Let me see. I'm coming. Okay. I'm sorry. Before you even come tomorrow, I found a better way to do this. All right, nice. So let me see it now. Welcome a serene environment. And maybe you want to give the button a space. So let me see. Is there a space in the one? All right, there's a space. Okay, so the space is not that. Yeah, I don't know. I can't seem to remove the space because even under the H1 it's 0. Okay, maybe for tomorrow I'll figure it out. But for today, your homework for today, is that you're going to, so now I think in your style sheet we already have a settings for button, right? We already have a styling for button.
Yes.
So now I'm going to give this button a class of button so that I can style it. Because if I go and press, if you put button in your own again, it's just going to show you, it's just going to change the styling of the other button. So I just give this one a class of button, and I want to see if I can style it and give it a margin top of 10 px because I want it to have a space at the top. All right, so let me see if it will work. All right, so it did create a small space, albeit small. So you want to increase the font size. So I'm going to give it a font size of, sorry, to make it bigger. I'm going to give it a font size of, let's say 20 px. All right. So it's a bit bigger. So you can do it as big as you want. All right, that is entirely up to you. I need to find a way to get rid of that space. And I will find a way to get rid of it. Margin top. Okay, so when I change this when I change it to margin top 0, when I only touch the margin top, it removed the margin at the top, but you can see now there is now more extra margin here. So maybe let me see. Let me remove this. So there are several ways you can do it. You just have to check and recheck and recheck. Okay, so let me see. I feel like 200 is too up. So let me put 150. Let's make it 150, 150. Okay. So what is the background color on that button? I think it's green
No,
on your website. Is it not green?
black.
Is it
Black.
it's green now. Is this button?
The button is black, but the website is green.
Hey, I'm talking about this website right now.
Oh,
That this
green.
color is green,
Yeah.
Abby. So we have to make this one green. That's what I'm saying here. We have to make it green. It's not the same shade of green, but that's what the browser is giving you. Okay, so when you have gone advanced, you will now know how to be using different shades of color. But for now, just use whatever color the browser is giving you because color is something you can learn later. But what you want to know is that how can you even do this? That's the most important thing. So I'm going to leave this as 0. I'm just going to leave everything as 0. All right, let me increase the font size a little to 40 because that one looks bigger. 40 is too big. Okay, let's do 30. Okay, so I think 30 is okay, like this. Okay, but then a serene environment. Then there is no space. So let's put a space. So to put a space, you can either put a margin under the paragraph. You can say padding bottom under the paragraph. I mean, margin bottom under the paragraph, or you can just do a margin top on the button. All right. So because I already have, okay, I removed all the margin that was around the paragraph because I'm trying to get rid of this space here. It's still not going. I don't know why. Okay, let me try to remove it here. Margin bottom. So I'm going to remove the margin. So when it comes to putting spaces, right, there are three things here. I want to teach you something important so that you will not struggle. Do you get? So now you can see here, right? This is the H1. This is the paragraph, right? There is a margin in between them. I can decide to remove the margin that is under the H1 bottom, or I can decide to remove the margin that is on top of the H. So you can choose anyone. So let me remove the one that is under the H1 bottom. Let me make it 0. All right. So if I make it 0, it has come down. You can see that the margin has reached. So maybe there is a margin on top of the paragraph. That's why there's still small space. But you can see that the space is different. Let
But
me show you
this
how it
space
was.
okay or too much?
What do you say?
That space okay or too much?
So this was the space that was. Wait, hold on. Let me show you. So this was the space that was there. You can see it's too much. They are too far from each other. The H1
Okay.
and this one. So I said that like I already told you before, that every element has a margin around it. The H1 has a margin around it. The paragraph has a margin around it. But I've removed the margin around the paragraph. Let me see. Yeah, I've removed the margin around the paragraph. That's why if I remove it now, let me remove it. So this is how it's appearing normal. Let's save it. Save. Hold on so that it can reload. Just hold on. Okay. So there is a margin you see now. So there's a margin here. There's a margin around the paragraph. There's a margin around the button as well. Do you understand? But they are too far from each other, and you don't want it to be, except if maybe you want it like this. For me, I don't want it like this. But you can decide to leave it like that if you want to. Do you understand? So let's assume that, okay, I don't like this margin that's in between here. I can decide to remove the margin at the bottom of the H1, or I can remove the margin at the top of the paragraph. Let me show you what I mean. Now there is a space. Let me remove the margin under the H1. So if I come here and I say margin bottom in H1, margin bottom, and I put it as 0. All right. If I save this and I go back here, the space should reduce. Did I save it? Margin bottom. Yeah, I saved it. There is still space in between them. So let me try. I don't know. It's like it didn't even reflect at all. Okay, so let's look at it very well. I think it reflected. You can see the plenty space, right?
Yes.
Let's look at it very well. Maybe I'm not that is not getting. There's plenty space here. Now let me go and remove the margin bottom that is under the H1. Margin bottom. Let's make it 0. I want to see it to reduce. Save, okay. Do you think it reduced?
Yes.
I don't know if it reduced, but
No.
I can decide to leave it like this if I want to. But maybe I feel like, oh, it did not reduce. If I remove the padding on top of the paragraph, let's remove the margin on top of the paragraph. Let's say margin top for the paragraph. Let's make it 0. You see, now it is smaller.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand? So it depends on what you want. It
Okay.
depends on what. So now this what's it called? This paragraph now, this thing is not showing very well. Somebody can easily, this blue is still showing well. This check result is still showing well. So let me just give that paragraph a background color of white. So now you see how it look like. Save, oh, save for Christ's sake. Why is this hard for you to save? It's not saving. Okay. Look at the very long background he gave it. You can't see that background, but there's a white background here. Oh.
I can see it's white.
Yeah, you can see
And
it's
it's
white.
slant.
Yeah. So it's affecting the picture. So is there a way I can make it just be around? Can I do that? I don't think so. I don't know if I can do that. So you can decide to leave it, you can decide to not add it, that's up to you. But for your assignment, I think if I check your page, so at least we've handled this first one. Let's even see let me see if I can see the styling for this place. Let's see if I can see the styling, hopefully. I think it's JavaScript, that's the problem. It's not loading, it's not loading. Loading. So like I said, you cannot make it exactly like your own because you are not a professional yet. But at least if it looks like, at least it should look like what is on the page. Do you understand? So what's the style? There's no even styling for it. Okay. So this is Java slider item. I can see the JavaScript there. So the font size is actually 20, and then they gave it a font weight of 700. You know, let me see. Okay, let's not spend our time doing this. We can always do this later. All right. So if you check this one, this thing is even changing every minute. I'm tired now. Abi, I give up. But anyway, if you look at it now, it looks almost like what you have on your school website, right? If I come here and I also come here, right? I can make it almost like this, but it will take time that we don't have. So let's not bother. But look at this. Sorry. So look at this. Oh God. Oh! I look at this, right? So you're going to replicate this for me tomorrow. This is your assignment for today. So let me see this tomorrow, then we'll continue from there. All right.
Okay.
Any questions?
No.
All right. So remember that your own styling is going to be in your style sheet, though.
Yes.
All right, then, no problem. I'll see you tomorrow then.
Okay. Thank you.
Tomorrow we'll do grids and form.